The Boston Red Sox had the 24th overall pick in this year's MLB Amateur Draft. And with it, they took Mikey Romero, a shortstop out of Orange Lutheran in California, high school, obviously. Same scout that scouted Marcelo Meyer, scouted Mikey Romero. And the Red Sox obviously felt inclined to go with Romero. It's expected for him to be under slot signing. We'll see when the actual full-on numbers come out. We'll see what it actually is. But the Red Sox seem excited by that pick. So we're going to cover Mikey Romero right here on Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derek. I'm here with Pat. And let's get right into this Mikey Romero prospect pipeline. So Mikey Romero, 18 years old, hits lefty, throws righty, similar to Marcelo Meyer. He was committed to Louisiana State, which I'm pretty sure is just LSU. But, you got to be fancy and put Louisiana State. His scouting grades, 55 hit, 40 power, 50 run, 55 arm, and 55 field. That is on the 20/80 scouting scale. Throw it over to Pat. Initial thoughts on Mikey Romero.
My first thought is they must really trust the scout. They must consider his insight valuable because that's 2 first-round picks in a row coming from this guy. And also, if he's another Marcelo Meyer, I'm happy. Might not be. Marcelo seems to be pretty special. But Mikey's been talking a big game. I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter. He said, we'll see who's the better shortstop, which I like. He's got the attitude. He's got the stuff. High school shortstops seem to be the way to do it early on in the draft. I don't think that there's anything about this pick that I don't like.
Yeah, and it's 3 straight years they've taken high school shortstops. Nick York was a high school shortstop, obviously, and moved over to second base. Right. Also, I'm pretty sure York's from California as well, so that's 3 in a row from California. Then they obviously go Marcelo Meyer last year and Mikey Romero this year. Romero 65th overall in MLB pipeline. I know he's ranked in other places based on from other sites, but I don't have access to those, so we're just gonna have to deal with the MLB pipeline rankings. He has been, though. He does have a comparison. It's not from MLB pipeline, but it's from somewhere else. I did see on Twitter that he is Marcelo Meyer. He's Marcelo Meyer light. It's almost like a I don't want to say like a bargain bin version of Marcelo Meyer because he's not bargain bin.
He's the 27th pick, Marcelo Meyer, so the 4th pick, Marcelo Meyer.
24th pick to the
24th pick. Thank you.
24th pick to the 4th pick version of Marcelo Meyer. And him and Marcelo Meyer already know each other. I feel like, you look at shortstops and you draft a shortstop. It's smart in a way because he doesn't have to play shortstop long term. He can slide to second, maybe slide to third, maybe even slide to the outfield if absolutely needed. And that's the one thing about shortstops. They're super athletic. If you can play shortstop, you can probably play almost anywhere else on the field. And that's why the Red Sox have been taking all these shortstops. And I know fans can be upset about shortstop. They're not bringing Bogarts back, but this is a long time down the road. This isn't Mikey Romero going to be in the big leagues next year.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. It affects absolutely nothing about the current roster. And everything that you said about, if you're in high school and you're already relegated to first base, there are issues with athleticism and fielding ability and things like that. Somebody's got to do it on the team, right? But if you have to do it, there's an issue there, right? Shortstops, center fielders, catchers, right? These are guys who have unique skills, right? They have a unique athleticism and they have that versatility. They can go anywhere they need to go. And so is he going to play shortstop 6 years down the line? It doesn't matter, but that word on the draft board shows that he's got this athleticism that makes him versatile.
And a lot of first basemen aren't actually first basemen when they're this young. A lot of them are third basemen. Like, look at Tristan Cassis, third baseman. Bobby Dahlbeck, third baseman. Blaze Jordan, even in high school, third baseman. He's moving over to first kind of right away in the minors. But he was a third baseman. So it's not like, they're just drafting first baseman. Like, not a lot of teams are going to do that unless the
exactly. There's an issue there with talent, But if you can play shortstop, you can do anything. So
yeah, exactly. And The only time I've seen like a first baseman really is if it's like a lefty and they just don't play like they could still play the outfield if they need to. They're that athletic enough. Right. You really see like non-athletic positions get picked unless all the other skills like the bat and the hit tool is way up there. You're not going to see, a very good defensive first baseman, but it's not the greatest hitter go in the first round. But you can see that at shortstop, a guy who's super solid defensively, not the greatest bat. They can go in the first round as a shortstop. Romero has from MLB Pipeline, if you look at his scouting report from them, he has impressive bat to ball skills and has a very good chance of being a plus hitter in time. Rarely strikes out and uses all fields. He does struggle. He did struggle a bit against velocity early this summer, but he was one of the better hitters at Perfect Games World Wood Bat Association World Championship. And he did show good bat speed, quick hands, and good timing from the left side of the plate. The only thing is, though, he does need to add some strength, but you see it with a lot of high schoolers. The whole thing is, you need to add a little bit of strength. It'll come. That'll come in time. He's still 18 years old. He doesn't turn 19 until January of next year. It's not like we're expecting him to be in the big leagues in even 2 years. This is, a 3, 4, 5 year thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Also, the next pick the Red Sox had was 41.
Yes, and 41.
They took him at 24 because they didn't think he was going to fall to 41, right? Which I think shows that they knew that other people had their eyes on him, and there might have been some teams, in the late 20s that were hoping he would fall, and he didn't. So this could turn out to be, a real steal.
Yeah, and last year was the class of high school shortstops. The class wasn't as strong this year, but Mikey Romero was in that conversation for being the best high school shortstop in this draft class. Yep. And he's also a very smooth defender. And he'll be able to stick at short. Now, whether he will stay at short depends on other guys, especially a guy like a Marcelo Meyer. Realistically, because if Meyer's destroying everything, you're not going to move him off a shortstop because Mikey Romero's there. Meyer would stick a short and they'd find somewhere else for Romero. And they might even have to move Meyer at some point because you never know. Maybe there's shortstops log jammed at the big league level by the time he's ready. If Bogart stays, who knows? But all this stuff is just, it's down the road.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about the draft. And, we get all in a tizzy about high school shortstops and this and that for like a week. And then, the guy plays like 11 games of rookie ball at the end of the year. And then that's kind of it until, he really sort of starts the development next year. And like you said, this is a multi-year thing. So I think, this is definitely, you always want to watch your first rounder. He's a guy to watch. He's a guy that I think people will find impressive and fun, and it'll be cool to watch his development, his long-term development.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox, they knew what they were doing when they were taking Mikey Romero. Obviously, it's clear that him and Marcelo Meyer do have a friendship already, too. So that also is an added bonus for the Red Sox in picking him because there's already chemistry there, and they will be a level apart in the minor leagues. Romero's going to go, most likely they will because Meyer will probably be in high A by the end of the season. If not, he'll start there next season. And Romero next season will probably start in low A next season. And he'll play in the FCL, the Florida Complex League, this season until the end of the year. So they will be a level apart, but if they kind of catch up to each other, they get to each other on the way up. They could be a very dynamic duo up the middle or that's a
double play combination of those two, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And the Red Sox future looks bright prospect wise. I mean, you got Meyer and York and Cassis obviously more further advanced in the minors. Even just consider low minors. Meyer, York. Now you have Blaze Jordan down there. You're going to bring in guys like Mikey Romero and the rest of this draft class. Obviously, we're not going to cover the whole draft class. That's, too much for one video. But who knows? Maybe we'll get to it once we find out everyone who signs. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. We'll see. If you guys want it, we'll get to it. But it's one of those things that Chaim Bloom and the scouting department have a plan. They know what they're doing. So they're going to stick to that plan. They're going to take who they like. And I do think there was a little bit of strategy in taking Romero because, yes, he may have fallen to 41. Maybe he doesn't, but you do get him under slot value going 41. So it allowed them to go above slot value on their next 2 picks and 41 and at 79.
Yeah. You got it. You nailed it. I think it's a fun pick. I think I've got no problems with it. And I think we can see the plan in motion. We've seen it 3 years in a row now, how they like to draft, what they're thinking. And I get it. I'm on board.
All right. Final prediction before we wrap this thing up. Mikey Romero, what's his batting average going to be in the Florida Complex League?
Okay.
It's a wild one. Yeah, I know you're not prepared for it. I'm not prepared for it either. I didn't do it.
All right.
You know.
Let's say, how many games does he play? He plays like 15 games, right?
He's going to play like 15 games, 20 games at the most.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say 273.
I was going to go with 287. So
okay.
We're what 14 apart?
I like this. I like this.
If one of us gets it right, we're gonna come back to this video and say, "Yeah, got it right. Saw it here first." Yeah, we're 100%, and then we're gonna get to brag to the rest of the crew about it.
About Mikey Romero's FCL batting average.
Before FCL batting average this year, but that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for checking out this Mikey Romero prospect pipeline. He was the Red Sox first-round pick. If you've somehow missed this whole thing or slept through it, he was the Red Sox first-round pick at pick 24. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to check out all the links in the description, the Bleacher Brawls website, podcast, Instagram, and Twitter, plus all the crew's Twitter. And make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell while you're there. And share your video with all your friends and family and everyone else that you know, even if you hate them. Provide them with this good content that they are missing out on. For Pat, I'm Derek. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.